Or tradition.
Yeah, man, fuck the government stepping outside of their bounds, continually going above and beyond their mandate and limitations of which were set down in our Constitution. In 1789, was it written? I forget exactly the year. I think it was 1789. Because it wasn't 1776, because that was the beginning of the Revolutionary War.
Yeah, it was 1789 was the first ratification and stuff like that, where they actually did everything.
Knowledge.
Have you ever heard of the black robe clergy?
No.
The what now?
So the black robe clergy were a group of priests back in the day, back during the Revolution, when the founding fathers needed places to write the actual Constitution. The black robe clergy were a group of people that basically let them use churches so they wouldn't be caught and killed by the British.
So I was just in Yankees chat there before we were starting, and he was talking about Mgtow, right? And there's a. I'm not saying I'm not Mgtow, like I'm not part of that movement, but I know enough about it to be able to talk intelligently about it, believe it or not. And I'll bring you a fucking side of ranch while I'm at it, motherfucker. But Mgtow is more like the tip top dudes who are tired of these fucking like scandalous ass bitches lying and cheating and doing all this shit. So they're like, you know what? I'm gonna preempt that shit and not even be in a relationship with you ever. Because you're going to give me the sex, because we're in 2022, right? Where you go on Tinder, and there's like, if you're like a good-looking, tall guy who makes money and, you know, has a nice car, you're going to be able to get most chicks. And if you're not that, no chicks want anything to do with you. And here's why. Because girls these days that are on Tinder, the Tinder chicks, that's the generation that we're in right now, believe it or not, like it or not, that's the way it fucking is, have hooked up with, at one point or another, a higher sexual market value partner than they deserve. Because the dude was slumming that night or whatever it is. So she's like a 6 or a 7, and she slept up to an 8 or a 9. And now when she looks at a 6 or a 7, she's like, ew, I don't even want to be with him. I'm looking for that 8 or 9. Ooh, a 10 would be best. But, I've got a 9 before, so that's what I deserve. That's my level that I'm at. And that's what I'm not going to accept anything less than that. Maybe for a night, I'll slim down and sleep with a 7 or something, not realizing that's what was done to them in the first place, right? And so the Mgtow movement's like, all right, dude, well, I'm a high-value male who can get chicks, but I don't want to be in a relationship because they're fucking lying-ass bitches everywhere, right? And Yankees fucking view on Mgtow is that they're incel. Like, oh, we'll get together and, women are dumb and bitches and they don't really like me anyway and all that's like, that's not what Mgtow is. And like, just to clarify what that is, if anyone out there doesn't know, and I'm not saying that I'm part of the movement or anything like that, or that it is, it's even legitimately a movement or whatever. It's just a state of mind that a lot of people have found themselves in. It's game theory is what that is. It's game theory based upon the dynamics of the sexual situation between men and women in 2022. Period. That's it. But anyway, friends, Romans, and Patriots, lend me your ears and strap on your tinfoil hats because I'm talking too fast, I was told, now that I'm sober all of the time.
Yeah, I saw that comment.
Because it's time for the Gay Frog Chat. The Gay Frog Chat is a weekly panel discussion where we go chin deep into a different conspiracy. This week, we're going to be talking about the FBI and how the FBI is now turned into basically a rogue organization. They're no longer a police enforcement organization so much as an intelligence organization aimed at you and me, ready to fucking jump down our throats and fuck us over at the drop of a hat, as we will see, as evidenced by the stories that I have ready to pull up tonight. But all that being said, we'll go through the panel here and say hello to everybody. We've got Duke Liberty. How you doing, Duke?
Oh, baby, happy to be here.
Howdy doodly doo, dookie doo. Good to see you, man. Got Hank Trill selling propane and accessories.
Always, every day. Actually worked today.
See, I knew it. Corey Long.
How's it going?
Long Corey.
Dude, I was going to tell you to change your name to that on Discord.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Hell, I might now.
Nice, nice. We are joined by Ohio Patriot. How do you do, Ohio?
I'm doing good, obviously. My federal swatting happened 3 years ago.
Yeah. See, you know firsthand what it's like.
Oh, yeah. And it was not fun. And when they admit to your face as they're leaving, we wasted 6 days on this, I'm like, how do you still have a fucking job after that?
Right?
And we have...
How much of my tax money is going towards that?
Seriously.
Exactly, yeah. Fuck them.
And Eagle is here. Hello, Eagle.
Hi.
How do you do?
Fine.
I don't think you've
Thank
been
you
in the chats before.
Yeah, my first time.
Okay. Well, welcome to the chats.
Yep.
First story before we get into the meat of things tonight. I just wanted to share something sad with you guys, something that made me a little upset when I saw it, and it happened yesterday. And that is Kai Wynn has died. That's right. They killed the Kai. I thought she died in the fucking fire caves or whatever, you know, back in Deep Space Nine. You know who Kai Wynn is. I hope you guys know what I'm talking about. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Kai Wynn died. She's all old. She's 88. Yeah, she was in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I always liked her as an antagonist in Deep Space Nine. She was very, very good at portraying a bitch that you fucking hate.
Nurse Ratchet.
Yeah, it's Nurse Ratchet. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I got you now.
Yeah. Same lady.
Yeah, that's an old movie, though, but it's a good one.
And then also, before we get into anything too serious, there's this video going around the internet of this lady at Walmart freaking the fuck out, and I just wanted to watch it with you guys and get your opinions on what's going on in society when this kind of thing is allowed to be normal. But
is that the one with the bitch like she like does a blood curdling scream and shit?
Oh yes, you've seen it then.
Yes, I have. My God, that's fucking embarrassing.
I didn't touch you.
Oh my God.
I think you're the
I
problem.
need to leave. I still got. Okay, she threw some of my stuff. Where's she still? Hell if I know. I'm so sorry.
This poor guy.
I didn't see you. To make it. Well, I just asked her if she saw anyone in line. That's an adult. I'm just talking.
Jesus, man, fuck.
I mean, is that what you have to do to cut in line these days?
Apparently,
Dude.
act like a psychotic fucking dipshit.
So, I gather from this short clip that he was at the self-checkout, right? He had put maybe a few things on the thing already to start, like, scanning it, and maybe hadn't got there yet. And then she just fucking goes in front of him and starts, like, scanning her shit and throws his stuff out of the way. And then when he's like, what the hell? Then she's like, you're raping me! You're raping me! Fucking insane, dude. Fucking goddamn insane. And we're supposed to just be like, oh, I'm sorry, miss. Yeah, I mean, you wonder why men are going their own way? Because it's fucking dumbass bitches like this. It's not our fault.
Yeah.
Like, would you want to be in a relationship?
One
with
thing
her?
is, it's no, and it's 2022, and she still has a fucking mask on. And who wears a backpack like that now?
Yeah, was it like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles backpack? What was that? It looks like something you would send your 8-year-old to school with. You know?
Yeah.
And honestly, she's probably got about the mental capabilities and capacity of an 8-year-old anyway, so it makes about sense to me.
Still has a mask on. That tells you a lot right there.
And then there's this video before we get into the meat of the night. And I thought this was also interesting. This is a Wawa in Philadelphia that gets just completely fucking destroyed by a mob. And then there's this bitch like, are you going to make my sandwich or are you just going to record us? Yes, this one right here. This indignant ass bitch right here who wants her fucking sandwich while there's a riot going on behind her.
She gives no fucks.
And look, like by the front door, there's just some woman. I guess she's a woman, right? I guess she's a woman standing by the front door on top of something like twerking, and everyone's like, "Yeah, this is awesome!" And they're like throwing shit, dude. Like, what the fuck is wrong with these people?
Let's remember, this is happening when there's food on the shelves, when the dollar means something, when there's safe and security relatively throughout the country. Okay, so what happens when there's not?
Oh, well, then there's no one twerking, Duke. Then the twerking stops.
Yeah, the killing began.
Man. Yep.
But this is also, in my opinion, due to the fact that the government is telling these people, "Oh, there's no fucking consequences. If you steal under $1,000, we won't prosecute you. If you fucking trespass or murder someone, you're out on bond the same fucking day. No bond. You just get released." I mean, what the fuck? There's no consequences anymore, apparently.
Well, no, there's consequences, but it depends on what side of the political aisle you stand on. And that's exactly why this country's going down in the way that it is because we have an asymmetric justice system. It's actually like a 3-tier justice system, right? So you've got like the bottom tier, and that's us. That's the ones who get fucked and get raided by the FBI because you protect your 12-year-old child from someone pushing him at a pro-life rally. All the way up to these people who get to fucking loot and rob and steal and do shit and whatever the fuck they want. And, you know, the cops will get called and they'll show up and they'll make an insurance claim or whatever for the loss of you know, damage of property and all that shit. But are any of these people going to get in trouble? I don't know. Maybe like one if they go over the top with it. But any of the normal people, any of the people just like throwing bags of chips and shit, hell no, they're not getting in trouble. And then you've got the Hillary Clinton fucking justice system where you can just like, I don't know, jump on the Lolita Express 50 times and like, you know, all the things that they do and doesn't even fucking matter because the FBI's got your back and they don't care and they're going to protect you and they're going to take the tape that they have and lose it. They're going to take your fingerprints and change them. They're going to, you know what I mean? Like Hunter Biden, when he threw away the gun in the fucking dumpster, what happened? That the Secret Service went and like found it and retrieved it and covered it up. Because there's a 3-tier justice system, not 2, it's 3.
Yep. It almost makes you wonder, why the fuck are we even trying to stay on the straight and narrow when we're the ones that get prosecuted for doing so, but the criminals are fucking held on a pedestal?
Well, and that's the problem with like Portland, for instance, right? Portland a while back decided that they wanted to criminalize the police and make the people who were breaking the law into victims. So if you're a criminal, you're now a victim, and if you're a police officer, you're now a criminal. And what do you get? 210% increase in murder rate in the last 2 years, homeless problem out of control, all of the things that are going on in Portland as a microcosm to what's going on in the like in our country. You know what I mean? Like, we are beyond the pale. We are beyond the level of which society can functionally operate and withstand any kind of fucking, you know, like storm. Like, it's going on fine right now because there's no storms going on, you know, like figuratively. There's no bad things really happening. But, you know, the price of food's creeping up and up and up, and the price of housing's creeping up and up and up, and they just keep increasing the fucking interest rates on the Fed. So now your $600,000 house is going to be twice as much as it was like a year and a half ago, you know, monthly payment wise.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, let's finish this video. Like, can you imagine working for fucking like $15 an hour or whatever and having to fucking deal with this shit and clean this place up? I would quit then and there. I would just be like, you know what? I'm not cleaning this shit. Fuck off. I don't care. I'm not doing it. I'll find another job. I'll do something else. It's fine.
Yeah, when these people looting right now, what are they going to do when these fucking shop owners and business owners say they had enough of it, move out of that area, and there's nothing to fucking eat around there because they're acting stupid and
well, then
acting
it's
like a piece of
racism.
shit.
Then it's racism because they don't have any stores that the people can go to because, you know, they all closed down because you stole from them till they went out of business.
Yep.
Yeah, we've already seen that. They call them food deserts now.
I mean, it's happening all over in major cities and like urban areas where this kind of shit is allowed to happen. You know, like it doesn't happen in like rural Texas where if someone saw something like this, there'd be a bunch of shit kicker cowboy hat motherfuckers like putting a stop to it with a little authority, you know?
Yeah.
Damn straight.
But, I mean,
It's awful funny that this shit only happens in blue controlled areas.
Only. Exclusively. Yes. Only there. Nowhere else.
Yep.
Right, and like you're driving by, you're just like a normal dude. Like, I need some gas. Roll them up.
Yep. Next.
Ghost Shadow says, see the pro-lifer raided by the FBI this morning. Yeah, I was talking about that a little bit just in the intro there, and we will get to that story here in just a minute. Just insanity, dude. Just fucking insanity.
Yep.
So there's almost like the first step of the society breaking down.
This is the fourth turning, right? You got hard times making strong men, right? Well, I mean, we're not at that stage yet, but we're about to be there. That's the first step is hard times make strong men make good times make weak men, and we are currently in the weak men making hard times phase.
Yeah. How long do you give it until we're in a full-blown depression because of all this stupid shit?
Christmas?
Yeah, I was going to say sometime next year, probably January, February.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm right, but if, like, objectively, if I just had to take a guess at about when things are going to be really bad, really, really, really bad in a lot of these places, it's going to be Christmas time. It's going to be when
it's going to be during winter.
Yeah, when things are cold and you can't afford the heat, when kids need presents and you can't afford presents, and then people are going to go to stores and just steal presents in places like Philadelphia or wherever. And so then, like, if you want to go buy presents and you live in Philadelphia, you won't be able to. You'll have to go to, like, I don't know, somewhere else.
Did you hear about the fucking UN wanting people here in the States to fucking start registering your gardens?
What?
So they know what you're growing and so they can control it.
Why would they? Well, I mean, obviously because they want total control of humanity and they want to control the food supply and know who has what and
exactly
how to squeeze people. And yeah, exactly. Yes.
They don't want people growing their own food to be able to self-sustain themselves and not depend on the government.
I'm not telling them anything I grow.
Well, and the other thing is, like, if you grow food in your own garden, it's not covered in Monsanto chemicals and irradiated or whatever else they fucking do to the food supply, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why do you think the cancer rate is going through the roof right now?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just the fact that if people around your area are growing their own vegetables and putting it back into the community or whatever, that's a big no-no. They want to be able to control everything.
Or like that Amish milker guy who was like basically producing and selling raw milk, and then they got to him. They're like, "Oh, you can't do that." So he started like a milk club where people would pay money to join the club, and then they would get free milk. Was how he did it. And then they shut him down for that too, dude.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's
it's
bullshit.
Fucking bullshit. It's fucking bullshit.
Yes.
Jack Bauer says, they just spread out and take over new areas. It's like the zombie apocalypse. Maybe that's what all the zombie movies were about, but they just didn't want to spell it out.
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like these mindless
interesting theory, yeah.
NPCs who were hungry, spreading out from the liberal order cities fucking into rural areas where people have guns. It's fucking Walking Dead, but they're just not quite dead.
Yep.
And we have this story. This is the first FBI story. I have several of these. FBI raids home of Catholic pro-life speaker and author with guns drawn as his terrified kids watch in Buck County, PA. SWAT team of 25 to 30 FBI agents swarmed their property around 15 vehicles at 7:05 a.m. Josh Shapiro is his name. Has said nothing. So basically what happened, this is a pro-life Catholic something or other. I don't know if he's a priest, just a speaker. Has a bunch of kids. All the kids are homeschooled. They showed up to a pro-life rally where one of these fucking crazy-ass, leftist-ass motherfuckers got in the 12-year-old's face, this kid right here, and started, like, pushing him and yelling at him and calling him names and assaulting him, to which the dad got in the guy's face and put a stop to it, right? Like any father would. Like any father would, regardless of the situation. Any father would do that. Police came in. They initially, because of the way things work, made an arrest on him, this guy, right? And then later dropped the charges, let him go. And I don't know how long it was later, weeks, a month, something like that. The FBI gets a hold of this story, decides that it's some sort of a FBI issue because it was I don't know, it was something about like the fact that they're at a abortion clinic and there was violence at an abortion clinic. Therefore, it falls under some kind of like federal statute. So they're going to go to the guy's house. They come in at 7 a.m, 25 or 30 FBI agents, guns drawn, pointing them at kids, arrest the father. The father's like, hey, wife, can you grab my phone and a sweatshirt for me? She goes inside to grab it. By the time she comes out, he's gone. They fucking took him away. You know, like they're freaking out. And because of what? Because of fucking what? Because he defended his 12-year-old kid from a psychopath, blue-haired fucking liberal fucking crazy person? Is that where we're at? Again, 3-tier justice system. And this is if you agree with this guy or me, you're on the bottom fucking tier, period.
Where was this at? What state?
PA.
I guarantee it'd be a lot different if that happened somewhere like Texas or some other red state. It would have ended differently. Especially if you see a bunch of people fucking trespassing on your property with guns. What rational person isn't going to try to defend their property?
Yeah, I don't know. Daniel said, do you see Beto's bus got chased out of town? No, Beto?
That's awesome.
That's hilarious. Fucking dude, that guy said he's like a Butthead grown up. He looks just like an adult version of Butthead.
Yeah.
Let me pull up a picture of Butthead.
Yeah.
Images. All right, you got Butthead here. Right there. Now let's go to Beto. Okay, side view of Beto, side view of Butthead. Butthead, Beto, Beto, Butthead, Beto, Butthead. It's the same fucking person, dude.
Well, here a couple weeks ago, I got a fucking text message from his campaign organization, trying to secure a vote. I had a little fun with them at first, but I ended up just telling them something to the effect that Beto is a narcissistic piece of shit and fuck you and fuck him. Didn't get any more response.
I mean, communists would have worked just fine too. I don't believe in communism and he's a communist.
Yeah.
I mean, basically we have more and more centralized control from government, which is each time they do that is a step closer to socialism, and each step closer to socialism is really a step closer to communism, right? Because what is socialism but communism without the guns? But eventually you need to enforce your rules on people, which is why all of these totalitarian regimes start out as like socialist places and then end up in communism, right? They're like, oh, well, we want equality for people. We want equal outcome for everybody. But the problem is that shit doesn't fucking work in reality. It doesn't. because there's people in this world who produce a fuck ton. There's people in this world who are smart and can get shit done. And then there's people in this world who are going to go into a Wawa and fucking twerk on top of the fucking thing at the entrance, right? You don't deserve the same shit. You just don't. I'm sorry. If you don't like it, you're a fucking communist. And then this story, before we get on to more FBI shit.
Sir Salts a lot said, "Don't insult Butthead like that."
How far he has fallen. WEF says billions with a B will comply with who complied with lockdown restrictions will also comply with social credit scheme. What are they planning to do next? Why are they trying to destroy the dollar right now, right? Why are they getting rid of the dollar? Well, it's because they're going to have this magical new Fed coin that's attached to you. And if you say the wrong thing on an internet forum or on the bus or in front of your teacher or at your job, guess what?
You're instantly poor.
They're going to, yeah, exactly. They're going to deduct from your thing, or they're going to turn your chip off. It's just like Aaron Russo was talking about before he died. Because he was friends with one of the Rockefellers, and the Rockefeller guy that he was friends with was telling him the plan for the future and how they're going to implement this social credit score, and everyone's going to have a fucking chip. And if they don't like what you're saying, or they don't like what you're doing, or they don't like how you're spending your money, they're going to turn off your chip. Oh, you ate too much red meat this month. Guess what? Crickets. That's what you get. Not the sound of, but that's your dinner now. Yeah, dude.
With whoever said that a while ago made that comment about billions. Don't you think that with the lockdown we just went through, that millions of people that were maybe on that side woke up to the fact that this is bullshit and tyrannical, to make that billion number he quoted a while ago, drop down significantly? I think a lot of people did wake up during the lockdown.
For sure, there's people who did. But also, there's a lot of people who doubled down during that shit. You know what I mean?
True.
And I would say just as many people doubled down as fucking woke up. And the people who doubled down are now part of the cult, in which there is no argument that you can make, because the arguments that you're making are against the religion, and their dogma is saying that you are a heretic and that you must be burned at the cross. And if you believe in this or that you're some sort of fucking crazy person who, you guys know. I don't even have to go into it. Anywho,
all right, these wonderful times we're living in right now.
And then Joe Biden said this, and it pissed me off, and I just replied to it. Guess what my reply was? When I came into office, the economy was flat on its back, millions out of work. So we acted quickly. We passed the American Rescue Plan, which lifted this nation from its economic crisis to economic recovery. And every single Republican voted against it. But was that the reason why we came out of why were so many people out of work when you came into the office there, pedo? Joe? Why is that? Oh, it's because everyone on the left was screaming at the top of their lungs how, oh, you need to stay home and put on your mask and wash your hands and get the jab and all this stuff. And if you don't, you're evil. And then Joe Biden got in office. What was it? January
21st, right?
Or yeah, January 20th. That's what it was. Well, January 6th was the thing. But guess when I got hired back at my job? Like right at the beginning of the year. Right when everything was like, okay, this is now Biden's numbers for the year. So let's do everything we can to get people back into work so that we can make these numbers pumped up and look way better, so that we can say, oh, look at this. Like when Trump left office, it was at this level. And now a year later, we're at this level. Good job, Joe. Good job, pedo. You keep taking showers with your daughter there, bud. You keep kissing 12-year-olds when you're 30. Did you see the story about him? A 12-year-old who claims that Joe Biden pinched her nipple?
No.
Yeah, that's out there too. Joe Biden's a sick fuck. He's a sick fuck.
Dude, he is.
Well, did you see that one comment that he made where it was we go back a long ways. She was 12 and I was 30. Is that
Yeah,
what you're
yeah.
referring?
That's what I was just talking about.
It's
Yeah.
just fucking disgusting. I don't understand how people can support that fucking.
Or laugh at it. That was the thing that surprised me. Like, he said that line and everyone's like, like he's
That
a
just tells
fucking
you what kind of people they are.
seriously. Well, again, it's the cult of personality. It's that cultish mindset that says, well, if anybody says anything that I might not disagree with on my side, I'm going to give them every single benefit of every doubt and tell them everything's great and everything's good. And if anyone says anything that I might agree with that's on the other side says something, then I'm going to fucking be all like, well, blah, 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 you know? And that's exactly what we're in right now. That's exactly what we're fucking dealing with. It's 1984, dude. And that's why the internet's so fucking important, is that they have this ability to go back onto stories and things like that and change little things from the past without people knowing who were actually, you know, like, if you're actually paying attention to what's going on, you'll know. But the vast majority of people have the memory of a goldfish and can't fucking put two and two together. So therefore, whatever you tell them, as long as you're the authoritative source from the side that they trust, they're going to be like, yep, I get it. You got it. That's right. And then if it's someone who might actually know what they're talking about but has a fucking different political ideology, you automatically discount everything they say. Anyway, what I said was, does everyone forget that we were on lockdown in spite of Trump trying to reopen everything? As soon as Pedo gets into office, everything magically reopens, and Pedo is trying to say that he gets credit for this? Yeah. Okay, then there's
getting credit for anything is fucking a laughing stock.
No, he shouldn't get credit for it. I mean, the only one who should get credit is his fucking doctor giving him nootropics and fucking methamphetamine so he can get through his speech.
Yeah, and even that doesn't help.
Okay, here's the second FBI is out of control story. FBI agents drilled and pried their way into 1,400 safe deposit boxes. 18 months later, newly released court documents show that the FBI and U.S. Attorney's Office in Los Angeles got their warrants for that raid by misleading the judge who approved it. Surprise, fucking motherfucking surprise. Whoa. So now, you know,
what the fuck?
You can't have it safe in your house because they're going to come and raid your house, so I'll put it in a safe deposit box. Oh, I know. Let's just lie to the fucking court, and we can go in there and drill and fucking pry open all of your safe deposit boxes and confiscate everything. Oh, you're on the road, right? You're driving along, and you're on your way to a new state, and you got a bunch of cash because you're going to buy a car or a house or something, and you get pulled over. What do you have in the car? Oh, a bunch of cash because I'm going to buy a car. Oh, well, we think that's for drugs, so we're just going to take that. Now you got to go to court to prove that that money was actually yours and that they don't have the right. Fuck that shit, dude.
There was a video I saw a while back. It was this Marine that basically traveled a lot and didn't trust banks. So he would carry all his money with him in cash. And he got pulled over and the fucking cop seized it saying that he was a drug kingpin.
Dude, that happens. That happens more often than we will ever know about. Because a lot of the time, what happens is that's all the people. That's all the person has. Does he have the money to go get a lawyer? Probably not. Does he have like the ability to like get on like media and have attention brought to his case? Most likely not. Especially when you have all the shadow banning and bullshit that goes on the internet today. It's already not a clear and equal playing field. Based upon solely the fact that they have control over it.
Most of the time, that money goes towards the police after, you know, a certain amount of time.
Yeah, that's why they love that shit, because they get to, yeah, exactly. Or the other one is mandating how many, like, DUI arrests you make, right? So we want to have 50 DUI arrests in the city this month. And then you get your 50 DUI arrests, like, by the end of the month, you're like, oh, damn it, we got the numbers. Well, guess what? Now we can have better equipment because we're going to have more funding for this because obviously it's a problem. We had 50 arrests for this last month, so we need more police officers. We need more patrol cars. We need more DUI checkpoints so that next month we can get 60. Because guess what? At the end of the year, that's like $1.5 million that we have for us. And that's great because we're the government and we don't actually own anything. We lie, we cheat, and we steal for everything that we have because we're the government. HBO Matt dropped in $2 and said, reefer truck dollar per mile is down by half from January. The fuck is reefer truck?
Sounds like a truck I want to know.
Yeah, not me anymore, motherfucker. You drive that truck somewhere else. All right. Oh, Ray Epps, here's another FBI story. You see, they were talking about this at I think there was a Senate Judiciary Committee, and they were talking about the January 6th people who've done this and the January 6th people who've done that. And there was a Republican, I think it was Matt Gaetz, who was talking to the guy, and he was like, well, do you know who Ray Epps is? And they're like, I don't know who Ray Epps is. I don't know who Ray Epps is. Well, it turns out they don't know him because they weren't investigating him specifically. They don't have his phone number. They don't have his fucking information. They don't have, like, they've got all of fucking Donald Trump's emails and phone records and text messages and files and everything. But they don't know shit about Ray Epps, do they? And that's on purpose. And it turns out that he's probably working for one of these organizations, if not tacitly, but directly. Either one. Oh, it's a refrigerated truck? Is the... Oh, reefer truck. Refrigerated. Sorry, my mind went somewhere. It's been doing that, dude. Fucking yesterday, I was having such a fucking tough time. If you guys don't know, I quit weed 6 days ago. This is day 6 right now that I have not smoked weed. Day 5 was hard, man. I was having a hard time. It was about every 30 seconds, my mind was like, smoke weed. And I'm like, no. And then 30 seconds later, it'd be like, smoke weed.
You know you want me. Come and get me.
And I just had to keep saying, away from me, Satan. And away he goes. The Popo will take anything under 5K because it takes at least that to get it back, and you won't get your costs back either. Yeah, that's a good point. Like if you have like $5,000 in cash in your car, and the Popo take your $5,000 cash, and now you got to get a lawyer to get it back, that's probably going to cost you $4,000 or $5,000 in cash to get your fucking $5,000 in cash back, so you can go through all of that to just break even after they steal from you.
Right.
Fucking
and
horseshit.
that Marine I was talking about, they took I think it was $100,000 or close to it, and he was only able to get back like $80,000.
That's fucked up, dude. They need to pay him like every penny plus like Nancy Pelosi's interest rate, whatever she earns on her money that she invests, which is better than Bezos, which is better than fucking what's that other guy's name? I don't fucking remember. Billionaires, investment billionaire. Oh fuck, I hit the wrong button.
You talking about George Soros?
No, the other guy.
Bill Gates?
No, the other guy. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I had a different guy in my head, but it doesn't matter. The FBI had sex tapes of Democrat mayors sleeping with Chinese spy and kept them hidden. They knew Eric Swalwell was sleeping with Chinese spy and kept it hidden. They had Hunter Biden's laptop and kept it hidden, but they leaked a dossier they knew was fake to the New York Times in an effort to take down Trump. I mean, all of those things are true. Every single one of those things is true. Every single one of those things has been done in the last couple of years by the FBI. And the FBI is like supposed to be trusted. You guys trust the FBI? I fucking don't.
No.
Fuck no.
No, I don't.
And you shouldn't.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you, Mandrake.
All right.
How's it going, man?
Didn't hear you a while ago.
Pretty good. Yeah, I was trying to ask, like, why is it illegal to save money?
It's not illegal, but they want to make it more difficult for sure. Like,
yeah, they just want total control over you. They don't want you to do anything that they don't agree with.
I mean, why are they requiring or trying to get people to report what they're growing in their garden? Again, it's control.
Yeah.
Yep.
All of these things are going on. Good.
there's a website that actually where you register your gardens, and in the video, the guy actually went through a couple states. Like in St. Louis, there was only 5 people that actually registered their garden in that one little area he's been on. It's just fucking overreach, tyrannical bullshit, and most people are just okay. We'll comply. Bend over here, do it without lube.
Dude, we're rapidly heading into 1984, and you and I are Winston. If you've ever read the story, Winston is the protagonist who actually starts questioning things, and then finds out, oh, they've got cameras and microphones everywhere, and they're following me, and they're changing the language, and they're changing the history, and like, one day we're fighting against Iraq and Iran and Afghanistan, and now it's, oh, we got to fight against Russia and Ukraine, right? Like, just trading out one fucking war for another. And if you fucking have any questions about it, then you're obviously not part of the group. You're an other, and we can treat you as an other. But as long as you keep like saying yes, sir, and government's great, then we'll keep giving you just enough. We'll give you just enough. And I think there's so many people out there who are afraid to stand up against it because, I mean, let's face it, everyone's got something to lose, right?
Right.
Some of us more than others.
Exactly.
Well, that and the people that do want to stand up, they're worried that if they try to, that no one's going to back them up, and they're going to be the Lone Ranger, so to speak, trying to do it, and they'll just get screwed and ran over.
Shit. HBO Matt says I would gross like $15K a week in January, $7K now.
Ooh.
That's rough. Dustin Butson dropped in 5 and said, shoot, I thought you said quit meat, LOL. In my defense, my 7-year-old is being loud and singing Iron Maiden songs instead of going to bed. Quit weed, not meat. No, I'm eating meat. Meat is delicious. Jack Bauer says, congratulations on Stop Smoking. I use all cash and people nowadays look at you like you're weird. I need to pay off more than one card. Need to pay off one more card than 100% cash. There you go. I went to Subway today and paid with cash, and the person looked at me like they've never seen it before.
Yeah.
It was weird.
And they don't know how to count change back either.
Yeah, that was the issue.
Well, next they're going to stop cash altogether.
That's the plan. That is the
That's
plan.
what they want. Yeah, that's why they're trying to push for the Fed coin.
I mean, that's where we're at right now, dude. Because if they can get that through, if they can get their Fed coin through, and they get their like social programming in, which they already have, right? What do you do? What can you do? Your dollars don't mean shit anymore, At that point,
pretty much right now, it doesn't really mean shit. They're just giving that perception that it does, in my opinion.
Isn't China already going cashless?
Yeah, they've been on the process of that for like 4 years now, 5 years maybe.
And there's other countries too that are doing. I think India is doing it. The UK is pushing for it. Other countries in Europe are pushing for it.
Yeah.
Like we're on the precipice of a cliff, and people are looking at it like, oh, it's just a hill. Like, no, bitch, that's a 400-foot drop. Okay, here we go. Another FBI story. New Jersey man sentenced to 48 months in prison for actions related to the Capitol breach. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Child rapists in this country get less than 48 months in prison.
Yep.
I don't hear anyone correcting me. Murderers in this country, second-degree murder, you will get less than 48 months. What else?
Right now, they're not even charging for it. They're just bonding you out for free, back on the street. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, that guy.
Intentional vehicular homicide, you will get less than 48 months.
Yeah.
What did this guy do? I don't know.
Walked in the door that someone let him in.
Dude, even if he punched a cop in the face, doesn't matter to me. I don't care.
issues.
Okay, this is kind of a longer video. I did want to watch this. This is from the FBI whistleblower's mouth himself, Kyle Sheriffin. Basically exposing what he has seen as a lower level FBI agent. He is still employed with them, but he's on unpaid leave, basically, because of his actions and speaking out. The left media is treating him like a piece of shit liar, and some people on the right are listening to him. And I thought it would be interesting to hear what he has to say. Let me turn this up. Turn it up.
So, Kyle, you had some issues that brought you here as a whistleblower. What for you was the point where you had to pull chocks and say, you know what, I'm not doing this anymore?
I almost just wanted to reach for a pipe and smoke weed right then. God damn it.
Well, Dan, I spend a lot of time reading a lot of national media, and I read every side of it. I'm not an inherently political guy. I like to think that I'm just a regular guy from 20 years ago that was in the middle. And as the Overton window has moved, I'm just seeing more and more things. I had the advantage of coming across Steve Friend, who was recently reported in the New York Post. And I got to say, people like Carrie Pickett and Miranda Devine are just doing really, really good work on behalf of the American people. And the two of us had a conversation yesterday, which is just a kind of a blessing to have. And we both agreed that either one of us, and I think he said he was, someone that went in front of a school board and petitioned and said that he wanted to have a say in his child's education. And when you do things like that, if that's going to end you up on a government list or have an e-guardian lead or an assessment or a full investigation into you just because you happen to be someone who speaks out and has an opinion that's currently outside of the vogue, then that's not acceptable. And
see, there you go, right there. So what is the FBI doing? They're going after people who speak out against the current status quo government and what they want to get done. They are going after people who were showing up to parent-teacher conferences and speaking out against it. They're going after people who go on YouTube and talk about the FBI being pieces of shit, lying fucking cucks, right? Sorry. Sucks to suck, I guess. I mean, I'm waiting for the FBI raid, even though I've never, ever done anything that deserves to be raided by the FBI. Not planning anything, not calling for violence, just calling shit out and voicing my opinion is enough to get on that list.
Yep.
And they're using the full force of the government to go after these people, raiding their houses, 7 a.m, 20, 30, 40 fucking agents. What's up, Pat?
How much? You hear me?
Yes, sir. Yep. And let's continue this video here.
And I'm not willing to participate in that. That violates the oath that I believe that I swore, and I've done it more than once. So I don't intend to be part of that, and I don't want to see other people doing it either.
Well, the feedback so far on our initial conversation has been amazing. The American people are really grateful. Kyle, I want to get to the January 6th thing, but before that, since we spoke on my show Thursday and Friday, now on Saturday, I told my audience, tune in on Saturday night. There's an update. Has there been blowback since you decided to speak out, blow the whistle on what's going on at the FBI?
It's funny because when you first asked me that, the answer was no. And 32 minutes after the podcast went live on Thursday, I got an email from FBI headquarters, and I had previously asked them if they were going to interview me over suspending my clearance or whether they were going to follow up on this administrative inquiry they have onto me. And very interesting, and I'll call it a coincidence, but they summoned me to D.C. for Thursday next week.
So now he's going out and publicly, because at first he got put on administrative leave because they were raiding people's houses for bullshit January 6th shit. And he was like, I'm not going to do that. Like, you got other agents, they can do it. I'm not going to participate in that. And they're like, fuck you, administrative leave. So he's like, okay, well, I'm on leave. I'm going to talk to the media now, I guess. So now that he's talking to media, well, now they want to pull him in. They want to interview him. They're looking for something that they can charge him with. They're looking for a way to fuck him over. They're taking away his clearances, like that kind of shit. And as far as I understand, like, getting those clearances in the first place is a huge process, pain in the ass, long time, like jumping through all kinds of fucking hoops to get there, right? I don't know, dude.
And they've asked me to participate in an interview and pay my own way, by the way, because I don't have a government travel card and I don't have credentials to get back into a building and file a travel report and get reimbursed. So,
oh, that's another thing. Like, okay, let's say you get charged in federal court, right? Well, your family wants to be there for you. Well, they got to pay for it. They got to pay for the hotel. They got to pay for the travel. They got to pay for everything. Oh, you want to pay for your lawyer? Oh, you want to have a lawyer? Well, you got to pay for that too, right? Because we'll give you a lawyer, I guess, but he's going to be like the guy who barely passed the bar, shittiest fucking lawyer in DC, which is, by the way, what, like 95% Democrats. So if you actually get a fucking trial in DC and you're in front of a court of your peers, chances are every single one of them's a Democrat and hates your fucking guts.
Yep.
So it's not your peers. I don't know, dude.
So I'm talking to my attorneys as far as what we're going to do about that. But yeah, I would say that's the first serious blowback.
Yeah. Well, you admit gosh, I mean, please stay in contact with me again. I'm eager to help you. Regarding January 6th, the FBI bought in completely to the January 6th narrative. And what I mean by narrative, I mean worse than Pearl Harbor, worse than 9/11. Well, the January...
Well, and that's a lie, too, right? They're like, oh, it's worse than 9/11. Fucking straight up lie. Worse than Pearl Harbor? Are you serious? Like, does anyone believe that? They believe it. At least their fucking minions do. That's cult of personality fucking religious dogma that they're spreading. And if you disagree with it, and that's what dogma is, right? It's like Jesus came back from the dead. You don't believe it, you're not a Christian. Like, that's kind of unbelievable that a guy he turned himself into a zombie, basically, right? He's a zombie now. He's back from the dead. Naked zombie Jesus.
And I don't think it was the Pearl Harbor.
I assume he was naked when he came back. Oy, oy, oy. What are you guys doing? Santana rules, O'Doyle rules? Okay. Jesus did way more than raise us from the dead. I know, Smoke. I'm being hyperbolic.
6 was a lot of things. It was not worse than 9/11. No sane person would say that. But we had kind of touched on this. But what happened after January 6th? How did the FBI respond?
Well, the FBI responded by pulling in all the operational units and bringing them into the field office. I was at the Washington field office at the time. And, we had all of our surveillance missions canceled. I was on the team that did that. We had people that were in other operational groups, whether it was white collar or whether they were doing child pornography. Everybody got pulled in, and there were tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of what they call leads that came in through West Virginia, which is the 800 tip line. And some of them came in on the internet as well. And they were so egregious to me. I mean, I probably got rid of a couple hundred on my own, I hope. But a lot of people just kind of, pencil whipped it, and people tried to look the other way. They were blatantly targeting what I would call First Amendment protected rights. It's like somebody attended a rally at the sitting U.S. president was speaking at, and that's not our purview. And if there's not any further information or allegation of a criminal act, and there wasn't for most of these things, there's no reason for an FBI agent to come and knock on your door. But so many people are trying to go along to get along and keep that paycheck and work towards the pension eventually, that a lot of people went out and knocked on doors, and a lot of people self-incriminated and ended up in very bad situations under federal prosecution.
So basically what happened was January 6th happened. FBI field offices called all of their people off of the jobs that they were working on. So you're working on pedophiles? Guess what? January 6th people, the pedophiles are fine. Oh, you're working on terrorism? Guess what? January 6th people don't care about terrorism. Doesn't fucking matter. We're going to pull you in. We're going to do these things. We're going to target this group. We're going to go against these people. And regardless of if there's reliable, good information as to whether these people actually committed a crime, we're going to go on very, very fucking tentative information when it comes to these people. Full force of the law, go to their house, interview them, try to get them to admit to something or catch them on some technicality or something like that, and then boom, arrested, 48 months in prison. That's what's going on.
That's why you never speak to law enforcement.
That's why I'm fucking super glad when I was buying a ticket for Washington, D.C. back in 2019, and it was a coin flip between January 6th and January 20th, that the coin landed on the 20th.
Right.
Dude, because I guarantee if I was there on the 6th and I was live streaming from my YouTube channel on January 6th, I would have already talked to FBI agents. I would have had to.
Oh,
and if I had talked to FBI agents, I might have been arrested, even if I didn't do anything wrong. Even if I was one of the people who never went anywhere. There's areas that were at no point illegal to be on, right? You could go anywhere on this part of the lawn, doesn't matter. Well, ex post facto, they changed that and said, okay, if they were on this part of the lawn, they were breaking the law. Well, it wasn't like that day. It's like that afterwards in reverse. Now they've got a way to go after these people who didn't even do anything wrong. Like the guy who's recording, and someone from behind the camera, because he's got the camera pointed this way, someone behind him's like, get him or whatever. And they're like, you said that. You were inciting violence, under arrest. And he couldn't prove that it wasn't him who said it. But they couldn't prove that it was him who said it. He should have taken that shit to court. But, I mean, how long is that going to take? You got to be in jail or whatever while they're fucking processing it for how many months? How much money does it cost to have the lawyer for how many days? And they're going to give you a plea bargain to just get rid of it right now, and you're going to have like 3 months in prison? Fuck, I'll just take 3 months. And that's what a lot of people are doing, dude. And the government knows that. The government knows that, and they use that to fucking go after people, just like with the $5,000 thing. It's like, well, it's going to cost you $5,000 to get your $5,000 back, so might as well just let us keep it, huh? Getting upset.
Show me the man, and I will find you the crime.
Oh, that's exactly it, right? I mean, that was the whole Trump raid, right? Like the Trump raid, what is it? The warrant, the search warrant that they had was very broad, very generalized. They could go into any room, they could search anything. They're just searching for anything is what they're doing. They didn't have a specific crime. They didn't have a specific thing. They didn't have like, look in this room in the closet underneath the bookshelf, which is what a fucking search warrant normally is. Like, we know where the drugs are in your house, and we want to search that area of your house. Here's the warrant, sir. Not open-ended, well, we get to come in your house and just, we'll get all your phones, we'll get your computer, we'll get all your files, and then we're going to look through them for months and months and months and try to come up with a crime. It's exactly what they're fucking doing. 3-tier justice.
Battle Elf in the chat said, who asked people to go down to Washington, D.C.? Orange Man left y'all hanging. But he did say come down there and peacefully address your grievances against your government. He never once called for fucking violence.
It was a trap set up by the left. It was a trap set up by Nancy Pelosi and her cronies. They knew what they were doing. They had people on the inside as far as like Capitol Police officers who were in on the deal, who knew like, oh, we'll just let them in. You fucking idiots. Good luck. That's exactly what they were doing, dude. How long before? Oh, good.
How many people were at January 6th? Did they ever give an exact number or roundabout?
Not sure. Was it like 100,000?
I think so.
What would they have done if it was 10 times more that? Just arrest everybody?
Try to.
Good luck. I mean, I'm not saying we should do it again, but what if, this was to happen again, but, 100 times, 10 times, what was that, January 6th? And they were armed. What are they going to fucking do? Just drop bombs on the fucking crowd? Because that would spark a fucking, revolutionary war or whatever war you want to say. So maybe it's time people need to fucking gather up and actually redress our grievances against the government, and we, the people, kick everybody out and start over. But I know that's not going to happen.
Well, that's our First Amendment right, is to petition the government to redress grievances, the right to assemble peacefully, right? Mm-hmm. All of these things, the freedom of speech, all of these things are under attack.
Yep.
Not to mention the Second Amendment. Jesus Christ.
I'm surprised they don't plant evidence to arrest people who was in the January 6th.
Oh, dude.
Who says they haven't?
I'm sure they did. They never found out who planted those pipe bombs.
Yeah. Of course, that could have just been trying to blow smoke up our asses to make it seem like it was that much worse than what it was.
Yeah.
I think they know exactly who planted the pipe bombs. I think that they themselves, much like Oklahoma City, trained the guy to do it and gave him the materials and opened the door. That's exactly, dude, that's what the government does.
Mm-hmm.
It's the burning of the Reichstag. It's fucking Bay of Pigs. It's 9/11, motherfuckers. Believe it or not.
It's just like that video. Go ahead.
It's like the Knights of the Long Knives.
Yeah.
When he had to kill all his opponents, the critical opponents.
And we all know the video and the memes that came out with all those, supposedly undercover feds that were in the crowd trying to stir up shit. Who's to say one of them didn't plan it? Just to try to fucking make it look worse than what it was.
With as
I
many
wouldn't put it
cameras.
past them.
Go ahead.
I was just saying I wouldn't put it past them at all.
With as many cameras and how, they've caught all these other people through their GPS phone coordinates and everything like that, you figured they would have done something to the guy that planted those pipe bombs if, they were really wanting to do something.
If they were really looking for people who were inciting violence, they would have arrested Ray Epps.
Yep.
And they would know everything about him and where he was getting his information and who he was feeding it to and everything. But guess what? They don't want to know because he was controlled by them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not seeing a number of people on here. Wikipedia is not giving me the answers I want.
I want to say it was 100,000.
It was close to that. Because I was thinking it was over 50 for sure.
Shocking. Kyle, I got about a minute left, but did the FBI do the same thing with the Antifa and BLM riots where they vigorously investigated every lead for everyone who burned an American city down? Or was it just turn in your MAGA neighbor week after January 6th?
Yeah, I think you're right. And so obviously I saw a lot of things. I was in Portland during the 100 days of riots. I was doing a low visibility surveillance. I was at St. John's Church the day after it was burned. And there was no aggressive push in the same way. There was a do something attitude, but that something wasn't criminal prosecution. And it certainly wasn't throwing hundreds of people into the largest investigation the FBI's ever done.
Another one that most people don't remember. You remember the story of I forget if it was a son or a daughter. There was a kid of two people who went to the January 6th thing, who got back home, and they had all of these videos, and they just kept them on their computer, and they didn't want to post them, and they didn't want to do anything because they were afraid of what was happening with other people and the FBI and arrests.
Retaliation, yeah.
And their son turned them in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And then went online and started a GoFundMe and got $500,000 or some shit like that from. So the story, or the motivation for these kids anyway is turn in your parents and we'll give you more money than they ever would have. Turn in your parents and you'll have not only not deal with them anymore because they're pieces of shit, right? Because you're part of the cult of personality. You're part of the religion. So they're not. They're the other. Prove your fidelity to us by turning your parents in, and we will reward you.
That sounds familiar in history.
Sorry, TC. Can't be writing shit like that. Fuck off.
That's 1984 also. Wasn't that the kids were incentivized to turn their parents in?
Yep.
So everyone was afraid of their own children.
Yep, it's true.
The fat neighbor or something like that. His kids were freaking little Nazis.
And thank you enough for speaking out. I knew you guys were out there, and I knew it was just a matter of time. But you got a lot of guts putting your face and your name to this. You're doing service on behalf of the American people, and from the bottom of my
Okay, and I was just looking when I was looking at this Wikipedia thing about January 6th. They're talking about monetary damages caused by the attackers exceeded $2.7 million. First of all, okay, what kind of guerrilla math did you use to get that fucking number?
Yeah, no shit.
Second of all, how was it a couple of months before that where the leftist BLM Antifa protesters showed up at DC in Washington DC and fucking basically burnt down a church, did all this shit, caused millions and millions of actual dollars worth of damage, and then Trump had to go to the bunker or whatever. He had to escape to the bunker and everyone was making fun of him because he ran away to the bunker. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, basically, it's not even as bad, but kind of the same thing happens. And then you've got, like, these pictures of Nancy Pelosi, like, ducking on the ground with fucking Crow, whatever his name is, fucking on top of her, being like, you know, it's fucking bullshit, dude. And it's obvious. It's completely obvious to anyone who's paying attention. But again, if you're part of the cult of personality, you don't remember that other thing that happened. All you remember is making fun of Trump because he had to go to the bunker, right? And, like, of course, this is worse than 9/11. This is like 9/11 with AIDS, you know? AIDS 11.
All this feels like to me is, you know, we're going to do what we did in 2020 again, and you better down and shut up.
Yep.
Trump hired or endorsed everyone that allegedly betrayed him. Stable genius, my ass. Dude, I agree with you there. And when it comes down to it, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, DeSantis 2024 is my vote. I'm going for DeSantis 2024. Because, like, Trump would say things and everyone would get, like, super pissed off and, you know, whatever. DeSantis does shit, gets shit done, and it pisses everybody off. And I like that better.
Yeah. Aren't they trying to sue him right now? Because I know there was one Texas attorney or somebody that's drawn up a lawsuit against Ron DeSantis for fucking busting those, for Texas busting the migrant, or someone busting migrants to fucking Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah, it's DeSantis they're trying to do a lawsuit against.
An FBI whistleblower warned that the Bureau has been transformed from a law enforcement agency to an intelligence gathering operation that spies on law-abiding Americans to help advance a political agenda.
Something wrong with that statement.
100%. Well, we already have law enforcement agencies, right? And the FBI is like the one that's supposed to coordinate between them if it's across state lines or this or that, or if it's a specific federal crime that a local jurisdiction can't deal with. It's the FBI that's got to do it, or if it's like over like coastal waters or something like that. It's not part of any state. Who do you call? The FBI? They're not supposed to be an intelligence gathering organization. We have the Central Intelligence Organization, the CIA, right?
Yep.
That's what they're supposed to do. FBI is not supposed to do that shit, and yet they are. That's what they're doing, but they're using the intelligence that they're gathering to then turn it into a legal thing that they're, you know, going after people for. Again, show me the person, I'll show you the crime. The average person breaks how many?
The CIA wasn't allowed to operate.
Good.
I thought the CIA wasn't allowed to operate on U.S. soil. Or is that just a movie thing?
No, that's mostly true, actually. Because they're for foreign, not domestic. Like, their whole job is to investigate, like, people outside of the country. Nobody within.
But right now with this administration, they don't give a fuck. It's basically all bets off and all hands on deck. We need every valuable resources to fuck the American people.
I wouldn't particularly have a problem with the FBI using things that are akin to intelligence agencies if they were using them equally, if there was equal application under the law, right? And there was complete transparency and they were above reproach when it comes to political ideology, and whether it's this president or that president, their job is the same and it doesn't change. I'd have a lot less problem with it than I do when it's like, oh, well, they're just the fucking, like, the military arm of the Democratic Party right now. They're the brown
new KKK.
They're the brown shirts. Yeah, exactly. 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 Dude, this is 1930s and we're Germany. And you and I are Jews. Calhoun Republic says, hey, I paid for that super chat and I need to read it. Feel like I've been cheated. Oh, shit, did I miss one? I did. I'm sorry, Calhoun. I'm sorry. How long before the FBI raids the wrong motherfucker that's ready for them to take them out? A lot of them. F the feds, F the FBI. I mean, as soon as that happens, you're going to have escalation. As soon as that happens, you're going to have disinformation disseminated through social media and through national media saying this or that about the group of people, not even the person who does it, but the people who agree with them, right? Which is you and I, because that's who they're going after. So one of us fights back against the FBI successfully. That's what they're hoping for, because now they get to bring out the actual tools. Now they get to fucking come after us even harder.
There's going to be more Ruby Ridges and Wacos and shit all over again.
Exactly.
Well, think about the propaganda going to be spread against us.
What?
You think they'll drone strike?
I wouldn't put it past them doing that.
I think they have to pass a law first, but yeah, I think they will. Sorry about that.
I mean, you're a terrorist, and so.
Do you remember during Obama's administration, there was an executive order passed declaring America a battlefield that was never rescinded?
Well, that's comforting. I don't remember that.
When was that?
It was during his second term, like 2010-ish, give or take.
Fucking Obama coming back from the great. I mean, he's not dead. Good. All right, and then George Takei says, when the FBI goes after an organized crime, I'm sure the mob bosses and their lieutenants feel like they're being persecuted too. Why are you seizing our property, trying to get people to flip on us? Because you're criminals, and criminals get prosecuted, not persecuted. Fuck you, George Takei. I hope the Starship Enterprise burns. Fuck you.
With only you on it.
Yes, seriously. I just said George Takei is out of touch. It wasn't quite as spicy on that post.
I feel the same way about all the actors and actresses. Like, go dance for me, monkey. That's what you're paid to do. I don't care about your opinion.
Exactly, yeah. I've said that for a while now.
HBO Matt, I am not going to repeat after you. I'm sorry. I will put that on the screen and give you full credit for saying it. I'm not fucking repeating that. Okay, so did you guys hear the story about, this is up in northern Colorado, the lady who got arrested, and they put her in the back of the police car, and then a train hit the police car.
Yep.
Here's the video.
What's going on? No one else is in the truck, sir. Can I?
Did she end up living?
What's that?
Yeah.
Did she end up living?
Yeah, she lived.
Yeah, she like broken arm,
messed up.
broken ribs, broken leg, fractured
Brain damage
skull.
too, right?
Yeah, like fucking huge trauma to her.
Yeah,
And,
she got
a huge payout.
A TBI, a traumatic brain injury.
And
yeah, you know she's gonna sue the ever-loving fuck out of them.
Oh yeah,
and gonna win.
Yep.
She's about to get some freaking money.
And the police officers who did it and then left her in the car and got out of the way of the train, in spite of the fact that you can hear it coming, as you'll see in this video. And I can't play the part where she actually gets hit, but I'll skip forward to the aftermath of it because of YouTube rules. But you can hear the train coming, and they have time to be like, oh, fuck, and get in the car and drive it forward 10 feet and be fine. But they're just like, oh, no, or even better, open the fucking door and pull her out. I don't know. Seems like an idea, but here you go.
Ma'am, what's going on? Can I in a second? I'm so confused. Can I take a seat? I will get your cell phone for you. Take a seat. Toss it out the window?
Could have. Out that window, man.
You hear the train coming. You see the light on him.
Who is that, Hart?
No, that's
But they're too fucking retarded to be like, oh, we're on train tracks and a train's coming. Okay, now we got to skip ahead.
Why?
My question is, and I already know the answer, but are these cops going to be held liable and get fired or, you know,
of course not.
prosecuted?
No, they're all put on administrative leave right now, which means they're being paid to not come into work. So she's in the hospital, like edge of death, traumatic brain injury, broken bones, whatever. And they're like sitting back drinking pina coladas or whatever cops do on their fucking day off.
On vacation.
Probably laughing about the situation.
Dude, I'm telling you, that's an ex-girlfriend of his.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised these days, man.
Like right here, dude. He's looking right at the train. Look at him. His glasses are lit up by the train lights that are pointed directly at them whilst being on the fucking train tracks. And the dumb motherfucker can't put 2 and 2 together and be like, oh shit, we should probably do something about this. You can ignore reality, but you cannot ignore the consequences of ignoring reality.
First of all, why are you even parked on the train tracks to begin?
Exactly. Who in their right fucking mind is going to sit there and do that? I mean,
no clue.
Do you know the average IQ of a police officer is 90? 90. If you want to be a beat cop and you have an IQ of 90, guess what? You're average, bro. You're good. You're right in there. You're in the meat of the curve. If you're too much smarter than that, they make you a detective.
Yeah.
And then there's this one. Okay. So
like
these
they have
are
tunnel vision. They can only see what's in front of their face.
So this, I'm doing local stories now. This is Aurora, Colorado, murder capital of Colorado currently. More shootings happen in Aurora than happen in Denver. And if you look at a map of Denver, it's like this big fucking blob of shit. Aurora is kind of like the eastern part of the blob, right? It's kind of Denver, but it's not. It's like Los Angeles and San Bernardino, you know? Like San Bernardino is like, it's in Los Angeles greater, but it's not Los Angeles. Yeah, same shit. So these are the Aurora police who are dealing with the worst crime in Colorado, who are dealing with the worst murder rate in Colorado, who are dealing with the highest fucking auto theft in Colorado. Like, more cars get stolen out of Aurora than anywhere else. And rather than doing their job and being actual heroes, they're dressing up like heroes and going to children's hospitals to cheer up children. Like, okay, that's fine if things are great, but fuck you. You need to get your shit together and stop acting like Iron Man and start acting like a fucking police officer who wants to fucking clean up the goddamn city.
Like, hey, look at us. We're not doing our job.
That would be too hard.
Yeah.
I'd like the helicopter to just come in and, like, you know, do that thing where it's like it leans way forward and the blades are going, you know? Like, let's see your super healing now, fucking Wolverine. Dodge this shit, Batman.
We are not advocating violence. We're talking a hypothetical situation.
I was thinking like a joke, but, you know.
Same thing.
All right. Well, that's all the stories I got today, guys. That's all I had put together for you anyway. So now we'll do the part of the chat where we just talk bullshit about whatever. What's going on? What are you guys up to?
I've been hearing that the Fed coin, it's already started. Like they have kind of some weird Swift payment system that they just rolled out. But it's only in between banks right now.
Oh yes, yeah, I heard of that. Yeah.
Wasn't that part of like the COVID-19 Recovery Act under Trump that they snuck in? Part of it was about creating a digital cryptocurrency controlled by the Federal Reserve Bank. You guys remember that?
I think
vaguely.
And it never really came to fruition because people were like, what the fuck? But now they're pushing things forward in a way that's going to make the dollar go down and down and down. They've been burning down and destroying fucking food.
Uh-oh.
Whoops. The hell?
He kicked himself out?
Yep, they got no. That's the Fed got him.
The SWAT, you got swatted, boys. You got swatted.
The FBI came for me. Sorry. Yeah, they've been taking out food producing plants and like making gas harder to drill for and shutting down pipelines and like getting rid of fucking power plants and all this stuff, making energy more expensive and doing all of these things that are It's like chipping away at all the foundations of the society, right? The society is like a building. It's got different pillars, like in each corner's got a pillar that holds shit up. And if you start chipping away at the pillars and it doesn't hold shit up anymore, well, fine, you still got 3 other pillars. You got to take out all the pillars. If you do it all at the same time, you have a controlled demolition. And controlled demolition means the whole thing comes down together. It doesn't topple over. There's nothing on top still. It's like Building 7.
Oh Lord, here we go. I'm just kidding.
No, the shit with the Pentagon though, man, that was a missile because there's not as you won't be able to find a single picture of a plane part that hit that
exactly.
building. Not a single picture of a plane part. A wing, an engine, nothing.
According to the Yankee Marshal, that's just what intelligence would do because they don't have to show people like you and me that's actually going on. It's just that's what they do. They'll keep that from you. The fact that they went around to 17 different areas around there and confiscated all of their videos from like the fucking what is it, the hotel and the fucking gas station. Yeah. Why wouldn't they do that?
That doesn't make any. To me, it just doesn't make any sense just to show like a plane part in the pictures that there is. Like, why wouldn't you show that? But you got all this video and everything of the towers and stuff being hit by planes. What's the difference from the Pentagon being hit by a plane and showing a picture of a plane part?
Well, it's the 15
because there was no plane and they're hiding it.
Exactly.
It's the 15-foot hole on the outside before the fucking outer ring collapsed.
Yeah, like that little itty bitty asshole. Are you serious?
Yeah. An aluminum tube.
Yeah.
And
punctured how many layers of concrete?
Yankee had said that was the inner building that they had to knock out to get to another section to put the fire out or whatever.
And I tell people all the time. I tell them, go look at pictures of a bird hitting a plane and see the damage that it does. Have you guys ever seen that?
Yeah, it like crushes the whole nose of the plane in.
Yeah, just a small bird does that.
Ghost Shadow says there's a video showing dragging of the nose gear and other parts out of the building. Out of the building. You show that to me and I will look at it. I have never seen that shit.
Never seen it.
There's a picture.
Anything.
Here, let me pull this shit up. I think I got it ready somewhere if I can find it. It's one of these little tiny icons. Sorry, I got to look through them.
Somehow, the plane leveled off perfectly with the ground.
Yeah.
Like
perfectly
somebody superimposed like the picture of a plane from the back over the damage, and the engines like were already on the ground.
Yeah.
So there should have been like two troughs dug into the dirt or something. There had to have been something.
Yeah, like that front lawn was clean.
On the outside.
So this is a picture taken from that day, September 11, 2001, from the Pentagon. These are FBI agents. I think these are Navy people. One of the people in the back is Rumsfeld carrying this giant box covered with whatever this shit's called. Yeah, it's covered with a tarp so no one can see it. They're carrying this out of the building. They put it on a truck and no one ever saw it again. What was under the tarp? They obviously want people to see
anything like that. Doesn't look anything like a plane part. It's the wrong shape for everything.
I'm just saying, if everything was on the level and this is like landing gear and a nose cone, they wouldn't cover it with tarp. They'd be like, we're carrying the nose cone and here's the landing gear.
Well, yeah, that doesn't look anything like a nose cone of a plane.
There was a picture of one of the engines, right, from whatever it was that hit the building. And cruise missile or airplane, right? And they showed there was a 9/11 investigator who took those pictures, sent them to Boeing, sent them to other like aircraft producers, and said, "Hey, can you identify this?" And Boeing was like, "Nope, that's not our engine. You can tell because of this, this, and this. We didn't produce that. This is what our one looks like." And everyone else is like, "Yeah, that's not ours either." You would think that, you know, an engine, even after a crash, would be able to be identified by the maker. Be like, yeah, that's our Boeing engine, you know?
Yep.
Anyway, that's an interesting point. Interesting point. But you'll never get people like Yankee to fucking listen to shit like that because they think they know everything. Like we were talking earlier about Mgtow versus incel, right? Those are two distinctly, completely different fucking ideologies and things, right? Have really nothing to do with one another except for they're like dudes who can't get laid or dudes who get all
roboting.
Yeah, Honda, you're
There
roboting
he
pretty
is.
bad, man.
Yeah, the YouTube's fucking with your chat because you're stating facts.
Must be the FBI.
Yep.
He's gonna have a flashbang come into the background here in a minute.
What happened?
You were just
You're
roboting.
robot, no bad.
Son of a bitch, dude. Spitting truth.
And
Gonna shut me down.
Yep.
I've noticed that when people start talking about spicy things, like their internet slows down or something.
Yeah, it starts fucking up. It does that a lot
That's
with Tim Pool. He gets
That's the fucking
Tim
that's
Pool
the
gets
NSA.
he gets sections of his videos taken out. Like, cause I watch his show live sometimes, and I'll go back, and there'll be sections missing from what they talked about. And he doesn't
1984,
do
dude.
that.
That's the NSA
1984.
dipping in and watching.
Well, okay. Did you guys see the thing about? And I showed this last week when we were doing a chat. The AI that you can take like a TikToker's like picture, or not TikTok. What is it? Instagram picture, and then upload it to this thing that will go and search the world's fucking AI cameras, not AI cameras, but surveillance cameras.
Yeah.
And tell you what city, what time of day, what part of the street you're on, and then show you video of you from above taking that picture. And that's available to civilians. That's available to you and me. You can find that online. What kind of shit does the government have?
Yeah, the government can literally, like, just at the click of a button, just access your phone camera and microphone.
Well, they also had that thing. This was a while back too. I don't know if you guys remember this. There was like this huge kerfuffle about being able to backdoor get into people's devices and computers to search for, and this was the excuse, to search for child pornography. And that's why everyone was okay with it, right? Because you're going to use it to go after pedophiles. But the thing is, if they can go into your computer and search through your files and look at your pictures and know your videos and everything like that without you knowing about it, what's to stop them from implanting a little picture of a 12-year-old or whatever, you know?
Yep.
And then being like, oh, he's got pictures of fucking, like they did that shit to Alex Jones in the trial that came out. There was pictures that were sent to Alex Jones's inbox through InfoWars of child pornography that never got opened, that they didn't know was there, that no one looked at, that stayed, you know, because they get probably 1 million emails or whatever a day, and they don't look at them all. And that was one of them, and they never looked at it. But then the people went through and started looking at all their shit, these investigators looking for a crime, and guess what? They found one. It's insane, dude. And that's where we're at. I mean, you have to fear daddy government like it's going to come. Like, I want a t-shirt that says, like, I fuck like the government. Because chicks will be all over me. Be like Mgtow.
You should open a Teespring shop, and that's your #1 seller.
I should. That's a good idea. That's a great idea.
I would definitely buy one.
Yeah, Honda, you need some merch now. Hop to it, Skippy.
All right, we'll get some frog merch going, man. We'll think about that. I gotta get some like frog art, like original frog art. I'm a terrible artist, dude. I draw about as well as I refinish guns.
Hey, at least you're honest.
Dude, I was dating this chick one time, and she was like, she's all into fucking painting and stuff, and she's like, will you paint me? And I'm like, no, I suck at painting. No. And she's like, oh, it'll be fine. I'll teach you how. It'll be great. We broke up after that painting. She was like, nah, bitch. Like, I'm out. I can't handle this shit.
I can't draw with shit anyway.
Yeah, dude. That isn't something you learn how to do. You're either
Yeah, that's a
talented or
natural
not.
talent. Yeah, you're born with that.
Yeah, my
Well,
fine
you-
motor skills suck ass. I know that.
Give me some metal, and I can forge you a knife all day.
Nice.
I don't believe in knives.
Yeah, it's obvious. You don't like carrying one.
I like guns. Guns are nice.
I can make a Damascus knife for you.
That's cool.
There you go.
You can make me one.
I was
Yeah,
talking to
If you're gonna take orders, I'll take one.
I want to make a Damascus 1911. In my dream.
Hell yeah.
I was talking to this British guy, and he was like, "Oh, swords are so cool, and I've got this kind of sword, and I got that kind of sword," and I'm just like, "That's gay." We have the Second Amendment. It's way better.
I got a samurai blade, 19 made in the Edo period.
I mean, I actually do own a sword, and I do actually own knives, believe it or not. It's a joke. It's kind of a joke.
Yeah.
Honda should sell Hidden Honda Ranch, excuse me. Draw me like one of your French girls, says Calhoun Republic.
I've been drinking, so.
Based Retard says, everyone talks about guns all the time. What about fires? I've burned thousands of hectares. You should probably see a counselor about that. It's called, what's it called when you like fire a lot? Oh yeah, you're a pyromaniac. That's not a good thing.
I think I'm definitely one of those.
I play with fire.
I love fire. Fire is the most beautiful thing on planet Earth.
It's very entrancing. And like sitting around like a campfire or sitting in front of the fireplace and just watching the fire pop and crackle. I fucking love that too.
Yeah.
Have I burned thousands of hectares? No.
I play with fire all right at 1800 degrees, able to forge steel, so I play with fire a lot.
A sword from the pedo era, excuse me. All right, guys. Well, we've been going about an hour and a half, which is how long we normally go for the Gay Frog chat. It was a bit of a spicy content type conversation we had tonight. I had fun, and I hope you guys did too. I appreciate everyone for being here. I appreciate everyone on the panel. Thank you guys for showing up and talking to me tonight. It was fun.
Oh, I have a cool gun to show you if you guys want to see it.
Oh, sure, yeah. Real quick before we go.
Ooh.
Hey, I used that gun off Battlefield.
Yeah.
Here. Back it up off the camera so we can see it.
Yeah, make his screen larger on it so we can see it a little better.
Yeah, I used that gun in Battlefield 1.
Oh, that's
Is that
nice.
one of the tanker versions, like the longer barrel? Like a tank commander fucking, whatchamacallit? I forget what it's called.
Is that 9 or is that 7? What is it? 725 or 765, something like that?
No mic. We can't hear you.
It's frozen.
There, we hear you now.
Yeah, it's one of those long barrel boys. One of them long boys.
Still nice.
Yeah, what round is it?
9 mil Lugo.
Nice.
999.
How much did that set you back?
$2,000.
Holy dick.
Damn. I figured it was up there.
Yeah, fucking right.
It was made in 1970. A post World War II Lugo.
Man.
Oh wow. Jesus Christ.
That guy had never been shot.
I'd rather have a motorcycle at this point. For $2,000, Jesus, dude, that's a fucking expensive gun.
Oh yeah.
I tried to buy one of those. They wanted $2,400. It was like 1932 or something like that.
No way.
This thing shoots 9mm and costs $190.
See, if I had Daniel fuck you money, I would get that, no problem.
Yeah, Daniel's got Daniel money. Daniel, go get one of those.
This one was expensive.
Well, Daniel could be nice enough to buy us all one, you know.
That's
if
the
he wanted
Hellcat.
to.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say it looks like a Springfield.
Yeah, $600.
Jesus.
Dude, I seriously want that new Prodigy that they got.
Oh yeah, that thing's sweet.
I really like Springfield, and I really hate Springfield. If that makes sense.
I hate Springfield as a company, but
yeah,
they make good guns.
They do.
Like back when I was getting my 1911, I really, really, really wanted a Springfield 1911, but I couldn't bring myself to buy one because of their policies.
The freaking Hellcat, like those for the size, and you carry 14 rounds. This is it's ridiculous. It's like it's half the size of a Glock 19.
That
And
thing
it's-
holds 14 rounds.
Yes, this little itty bitty ass
I didn't know
thing, 14 rounds, like, and it's really
thick is
thin.
it?
It's
Oh,
really
no, that's
thin.
not bad at all.
It's super thin. Like it's
That's what I like about this, though. Look how thin that is.
yeah, like that's how this is. It's really thin,
What is that Honda?
and it's double stacked.
It's a Taurus PT 709 Slim.
Yep. That's a
Okay.
single stack, isn't it?
Yeah, single stack,
Yeah.
7
See,
rounds of
this
mag.
this is as thin as single stack guns, and it's double stacked, 14 rounds.
The one that I kind of want to get is the Ruger 380. That's like the, what is it? Like this staggered stack. I forget what it's called. God damn it.
Yeah, it's like a hybrid stack, kind of like SIG does for the 365.
Stack and a half.
But what's it called? I can't
Yeah,
remember what it's
stack and a
fucking
half.
called.
Max 9.
Stack and a half.
No, no, no.
What's a 6-inch barrel?
Whatever, it doesn't matter. LCP Max, thank you, Never Enough Ranch.
Yeah, the P320 is a lot bigger than the.
Dude, look at his picture.
Hellcat,
Jesus
though.
Christ.
A lot
He even
bigger.
has he even has a compote of ranch with parsley on it. You motherfucker.
At my dad's house, I have a World War II Lugo. It brought back from
I had a
World War II.
great uncle.
That's badass.
Yeah, I had a great uncle that had one of those. Pretty, very, very cool gun.
I know when we were in Tulsa, old Bob had one that we all shot. Except
I
that wasn't a 9.
I didn't get to shoot it because I burnt the fuck out of my hand, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That sucked, dude. I was so
Ooh,
upset.
I see you guys.
Yeah. That
I was-
just ruined
Gotta head
range
out.
day.
All right, man. We'll have a good one,
Later,
Vader.
man.
Later, Randy.
Later.
I had rebuilt that. I put new springs and everything in it so it shoot better.
Yeah, I think that's what he probably had to do because the what was it? The grip safety was like you had to fucking
you had to
grab that motherfucker to get it to work.
squeeze that shit out of that motherfucker just to get it to shoot.
Well, mine have a grip safety built on the 1929 switch frame, Luger frame. That way I have it. The German Luger do not have it.
Really?
Yep.
Did Bob get jacked? Is that what happened? Yeah, it's a real German Luger. Oh, not really.
My Luger is a post-World War II Luger. It was made in the 1970s or 60s. So it built on the 1929 switch frame Lugers that Mauser had to went to Switzerland to buy to fill that order.
All right, guys. Well, I have to go pick up my son from work and do some other shit. So I do have to end it, unfortunately. I'm sorry. But I, again, do appreciate everyone showing up. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being here. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks for participating. Thanks for being thankful. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's been a
Adios.
great chat.
Everybody have a good week.
Peace
Yeah.
out.
Later,
Yep.
everybody.